Hello, welcome students. I think you are taking care of yourself in this emergency time. Stay at your home. Okay. Today what we are going to do is we are going to start with third unit, and I'm going to briefly give you an overview of Say's law of market. Now, what is the Say's law? Say's law, in a very simple term, means supply creates its own demand. What does this mean elaborately? This means elaborately that when a businessman produces a goods, what would happen to it? He is not going to hoard this goods anymore. What he's going to do is he's going to sell off. He's going to actually create its own demand out of it. People are going to actually buy the producers which a businessman has been doing. Now, technically, there are certain assumptions which have been there. Which are these assumptions? Now, the first assumption here is perfect competition is goods and services. Perfect competition in goods and services market. There is an optimum allocation of resources. Third, the system works with the help of price mechanism. Fourth, flexibility in the wage rate. And 5, basically saving is equal to investment. Now I'm going to give you some brief notes on this. Please take it down. When goods are produced by a firm in an economy, they pay a reward to the factors of production. The household, after receiving the rewards of the factors of production, spend the amount on the purchases of goods and services. From this, it follows that each product produced in the economy creates demand equal to its value in the market. Say's law of a market states that the supply creates its own demand. In this, there will be no room for overproduction of goods in the economy. So when there is no overproduction, so there would be no layoff. When there would be no layoff, the general unemployment for the workers would be less. The essence of Say's law is that what the economy generates is automatically spent on the purchase of goods and services. The economy is therefore self-correcting, in the sense is whatever you are producing would be actually sold. So there would be an automatically demand which would be generated. So there is a self-adjustment economy. In the sense is when you produce more and more goods, people are going to generate demand automatically. Now, how it would be generated? If you look into this, what would happen? Let's say there is a firm which has produced certain goods and services. Now, to produce these goods and services, what firm needs to do? Firm needs to actually pay a price to the workers. So they are going to actually, the workers are going to generate the income. Secondly, the firms are going to pay the rent if the household has been actually taken as an rental income. Then the firm is going to pay the price to the raw materials, because if they are going to produce, so everyone in a process would generate an income. Now when the income has been generated, what they would do, this income would be ultimately in the hands of the households. Now household go to the market and would start actually purchasing the goods and services that the firm has already created for them. So in this whole process, there would be a demand which would be generated automatically. So once the demand has been generated automatically, these firms, it conforms to the Say's law, which says supply creates its own demand. So this is how it is going to work. Thank you. Now there are certain objective kind of questions, or the kind of actually subjective questions which might be asked to you, basically based on this subject, is critically examine the Say's law of demand, Say's law of market, Supply creates its own demand. Critically examine this statement.